So one of the questions I received was, which line items do I put on my invoice? Now, there are a couple of different kinds of invoices that we send out. One is just a fixed sum. Some people don't want to know the line items. And then there's also an industry standard one, which is an exact breakdown of what the costs are. Regardless of which invoice they get, the price is the same. It's just different ways of expressing the same thing. With certain agencies, especially in London or New York, they expect to see things broken down in a very particular way. They expect to see the following line items. One will be the photographer's expected fee, and that is your labor day rate fee. The next will be the usage fee. They're normally the top items in the invoice. Now, the rest of these bits here often get broken down differently. So sometimes it'll be photographer's fee, usage fee, production fee or costs, and then maybe stylist fee if you're a food photographer like myself. And these are made up of several items, and I'm going to go through these items with you. One is a digital tech, and that is the person who mans the computer. Don't always need one, don't always include one. Then you have your assistant, studio usage, and whether that's your own studio or a studio you're renting, your camera kit, and whether that's your kit or kit you're renting. They all go down there as line items as well. Then we have retouching costs, which is per image normally, or per job, depending on how the brief comes in. It sort of varies a little bit. And then we have our sort of outside costs, like our miscellaneous costs. And we put those down as potential expenses. Because I don't know if you've ever had to do this, you've dialed into a call where they said we have to use this system and it's cost you £120 to dial in. These things happen now and again, especially when we're working with clients from abroad, and we obviously want to be able to bill that. So we put a chunk of money there which we may or may not need. Then you have your lunch costs and all that sort of thing. Now, some people don't like being quoted in this way, and some people do. And it's just working out who's who and giving the right quote to the right person. All of these quotes will be made up of the same things. They just go out differently pretty much. Now, if I went and gave a huge quote like that to the local restaurant, they'd be like, what on earth is all of this? But if I gave a single figure quote to a big ad agency in London, they'd be like, well, where's the rest of it? Where's all the items? Where's all the stuff? Like, are we just providing it? How's this working? So it's important to understand who you're invoicing and how to portray those items. It's very important to have your usage as a line item on the invoice because there's certain legalities in the UK as to whether it's valid or not without it. And it's also good to have terms and conditions, which is something I've only started doing with my new agent. With my previous one, I don't really know what was going out terms and conditions wise. I sort of didn't pay much attention, but now I do. And yeah, we have our terms and conditions and stuff like that, which go out with our quotes and then our final quote or whatever it may be. Estimates, there we go, that's the word I'm looking for. So they're the sorts of things. And we often put a maximum budget down as well. So we might say we need £500 for traveling, knowing full well that it's probably only going to cost 200, but say the trains will break and we have to get a taxi, which costs £300 to get across the country. We want to make sure they are aware that this might happen in order to keep the shoot running. It doesn't mean we bill them that. So yes, that's the sort of things which go into an invoice, and it really varies. Sometimes you break it down, sometimes you just put it in a lump figure. Horses for courses. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about this, let me know, and I'll speak to you later. Bye-bye.